This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Hello and welcome to another fabulous episode of DKW. I'm sitting down because I'm still pregnant, so do bear with me. Right, well, studies show that 70% of our communication is achieved non-verbally. So that just goes to show that actions really do speak louder than words. On today's show, The Body Talks, we'll be discussing what your body language can say about you and how to read others. Let's take a look at what's coming up. Next, we're going to find out how well we can read body language in a quiz. At 4:15, find out what the people on the streets of London think with Jennifer Long. At 4:25, we'll see swinging bodies take on a world record and our colleague Lisa on a swing class. And later, we'll be talking to Emma Zangs, choreographer and body language practitioner. So discussing body language with me today, I have the mighty Motti, or should we say the Motti Almighty as we just said.
Right.
The doer Diane.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. And the courageous Kim. Hi. Ladies. So as we said earlier on in the show, they say that actions speak louder than words. And it's just amazing how much you can say without the aid of a single word. For example, you could shrug your shoulders to say, I don't know. You could raise your eyebrows as if to say, sorry, did I hear that correctly? Or you could turn your palms upright to say, I don't know what else to say. That's just a few of the things, ladies. So we're going to do a quiz right now and see how much we can read body language, okay? So some body language, as you know, is easy and obvious to discern. But other kinds of body language are not that easy. But let's see, and let's try our hand at a few questions and let's see how well we can read. So we've got here, what does it mean when somebody puts their palm to their chest? Would that be A, superiority, B, confidence, or C, sincerity?
Sincerity.
Yeah, I'd say sincerity as well. It's like, really, it's coming from the heart.
Yeah, I'd say sincerity as well. Sometimes I do that if I'm talking about something quite deep.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'd agree. Okay, number 2. What does it mean when someone rubs their nose? A, superiority, B, dislike, or C, anger?
Rub the nose.
Dislike, I would say, because I can't see it as being angry or
I know, sometimes for me, it even can mean like you're kind of thinking about what to say.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the way you rub it, really, isn't it?
I think I've done that before, and I would like to think I was neither
You're not being superior.
or disliking someone or angry. I think for me it would be more like wondering. I think for me it would be wonder. Option D, wonder.
Right, so none of the above. Okay, number 3. What message is being sent when someone looks over their glasses at someone? A, contempt, B, scrutiny, or C, superiority?
I'd say scrutiny.
I'd say superiority.
Yeah,
It reminds me,
like, you know, when you're at school and you've got that teacher.
That's so funny because that is exactly what came to my mind as well. Like,
yes,
the teacher
you speak the truth, Kim.
But then the teacher's being superior, isn't it? Like she's exercising authority.
Yeah.
I think scrutiny.
I think for me, I couldn't decide between the two. I think it could be both, to be honest with you. Okay, well, number 4. What does it convey when a person looks up and to the right before they speak? So just kind of imagine yourself doing it like. So we've got options there.
I think it's A.
So they're either trying to recall something.
Yeah, definitely A.
It could be that they're lying or they're trying to make something up. So that you guys think?
A.
To the right. Yeah, I would say trying to recall something as well.
Yeah.
Well, here. Trying to recall, snap my leg off.
Those of you who didn't see that, Morty just tried to kind of look to the left, look to the right, and figure it out. Yeah, I know, because they say that looking to the left, I don't know if it's looking down into the left means that you're lying, but I look to the left a lot, you know, when I talk, and I'm not lying, honestly. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I thought, yeah, I do that. I noticed that I do that. Sometimes I look to the left. When somebody's asking me about something and I'm going to answer, but it's not a lie. I'm telling the truth, but sometimes I just look to the left.
the expert, I'd rather go with the experts here, Melissa. So I'm going to start to wonder about the things that you said.
I've really got to work on that, because people will just look at me like, yeah, I know that left thing that you're lying.
It shows your body language can be deceiving sometimes, can't it?
It can be, definitely.
If you're just reading it textbook, you can make mistakes.
Very good point.
It could be relative to the person, isn't it? Something individual about that person.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, ladies, so what else do you think you can discern from someone's body language?
Their mood, like how happy they are, how sad they are. If someone is in a good mood, I think kind of like they'll be looking up, smiling, and things like that. And if they're sad, kind of like looking down, avoiding eye contact. Yeah, so mood.
Definitely.
And also how the person's, if they're not well, or if they're ill, you just by looking at them, sometimes you can say, "Oh gosh, you don't look so good today."
Yeah.
If they're, doing this and.
Or even when they're angry as well, kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
That really can stand out, can't it? When someone's
eyes, isn't it?
when someone's angry, their body language and the way they look and
Even the way they walk. You know, it's like sometimes with my husband, with my husband, if you spend time with someone for a long time, like I have with my husband, like the way he walks already tells me, he's happy or he's not happy.
I think also if they've got something on their mind, it can be easy to tell. But also if they're not really a confident person, sometimes you can tell a person's confidence levels by the way that they behave and by the things that they do. We were talking earlier actually about the use of your hands, like when you're talking, because I use my hands quite a bit. But I was saying that there is a show that I watch, and one of the ladies on it, she seems to be very open. She seems to be more open out of the others on the show. But she uses her hands so much that it's distracting. It's like, I do think, are you actually nervous, or are you like making up what you're saying? Because it sounds sincere to me, but you're just doing all of that and it just looks so weird.
I may be guilty of that because I use my hands a lot. And maybe sometimes a bit too much. It's because I'm such an energetic person, and sometimes I have to contain that energy, so it comes out through the hands.
So it's a bit of a release of energy.
So if I can't really talk fast like this, and I'm trying to contain it, so I'm like going slow.
I've seen that so many times.
The hands are going wild.
I've seen it, I have to say. I have witnessed it. Yeah, so there's quite a lot that I think you can tell from somebody's body language alone, more than what they're saying. And sometimes they can be saying something, but their actions show something different. So it does confuse you at times.
That's like, sometimes I frown a lot. And it's just hereditary. My dad frowns. And that can be perceived as I'm really upset, you know. And sometimes someone will say, what's wrong? And I'll be like, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, but because I'm frowning, they've misinterpreted, like Kim was saying, they've totally misinterpreted what's wrong with me.
Definitely. I actually have to say, on that note, Di, that when I first, like before I got to know you, I did used to think, oh, she's not very approachable. She's not friendly. Genuinely, I thought that.
A lot of people turn around and say, wow, I didn't expect you to actually be like this. Like what? You know, it's really,
Definitely. And I'm just so glad I've got to know you because you're wonderful. Just lovely. A delightful Di. Okay, well, we're going to go to a short break now. But before we do, we'll find out what the people on the streets of London think with Jennifer Lon.
What do you think is the clearest form of communication?
The eyes.
Well, speaking or touching?
Yeah, I agree with her. Speaking to one another in front of each other like now. Clearest form of communication would be speaking, I would think.
I'm a very direct person, so whenever I need to communicate, I will always do it face to face with someone. I don't do it over the phone or text messages, and I will always meet with them, regardless of if that's somebody that's employed by me or anything like that. I will speak to them in person.
Oh, it's definitely body language.
What do you think body language can convey that words can't?
Your personal feeling about things, even if you state something different.
Feelings, usually.
Everything that words are not saying.
You can tell a lot. You can lie through words, but I think body language often gives you away. So if I was now standing with my arms crossed, it would probably be that I wasn't impressed that you were coming up and interviewing me. If I was sort of edging towards you, maybe it's because I like you. I'm sure you can tell loads of things about your body language that words would give you, words you could try and lie, but body language often gives you away. And it's subconscious, isn't it? You don't really know you're doing it.
I guess the true thoughts of the person, because they might be saying something, nice but thinking something nasty, and their body language will be conveying that, I suppose, if they're closed or, turning away from you. I guess that will signify it.
Body language is a really important thing, regardless of if it's a job or just something in day-to-day life. If you're panicked about something, you can always tell that in body language. Or if it's relationships or something like that, you need to be confident in something like that. And it's something that I think is a day-to-day thing that you need to work on and be the best that you can be when it comes to body language, because it really does mean everything. You can say as much as you want in words, but if you're like this, then it means nothing.
This programme is brought to you by UCKG. This programme is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome back, everyone. On today's show, The Body Talks, we've been discussing what you can read from other people's body language. So how well you listen, how you look, how you move, and how you react. It tells other people, if you care, if you're being truthful or not, as we were saying, if you're a confident person, if you're a good listener, etc. When your non-verbal signals match up with the words you're saying, they increase trust, clarity, and rapport. When they don't, they generate tension, mistrust, and a bit of confusion, like I was saying before the show. Okay, ladies, so have you ever felt uncomfortable during a conversation because the other person was standing too close and invading your space?
Do not remind me of that experience. But it wasn't in a conversation, actually. It was in a tube, during a tube ride. So it was kind of like very, very packed, and we were like squashed into each other. And it so happened that I was squashed into someone facing them, like face to face. It was so uncomfortable. And there was not even space to turn around, like, okay, at least let's be back to back. And I was like trying to look the other way around, and I could actually feel their breath on my face.
Oh my gosh, that's way too close.
That was the most uncomfortable I've ever been around someone.
That is way too close. How about you, ladies? Di, Kim?
Same sort of scenarios, or even when I'm having a group conversation with someone and I can see someone just standing, hovering. I do that body language thing, and I give the look, like.
I know. When I was doing my social work training, we did a section on body language, and that particular thing about invading people's space. Because if you can get too close to someone, you're not going to get the information you need from them. And also, there's that thing of, you know, that parameter people need around them to be able to feel comfortable to speak to you. So one of the things that we did learn, you know, is have that space, give the person the opportunity to talk to you. Because remember, when you're close to someone, as you said, you can feel their breath. Sometimes people speak a little bit spitty.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
And all that stuff makes people feel not just the person you're speaking to uncomfortable, but also you. You know, you're speaking to someone, a bit of spit flies and it hits you in your face. You want to do this.
I know,
but then you don't want to embarrass the person at the same time. So you can't. You're so concentrating that this person's in your space, you can't have the conversation.
You can't relax enough.
You can't relax, and sometimes if you're trying to get information from people and trying to make people comfortable about things that are very delicate, they can't be thinking, oh my God, this person's in my face, I can smell this person's breath, this person's talking to me, and the spit's flying in my face. They're too busy concentrating on that stuff than be able to give the information they need.
That kind of happens a lot when you're like on a computer and someone comes over to do something with you and they lean over you and you think, all right, do you want to sit down? Let's swap places, you know. I find that really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think it can also depend on the relationship that you have with the person. Because, for example, these tube encounters, underground encounters, it really is uncomfortable, especially because you don't know the person. And for me, when that happens, like when I can see, I'm so close that I can see exactly if they've got dandruff in their hair, I can feel their breathing. It's like, I do feel like I don't even get this close to people at home. So it makes it feel really uncomfortable because you don't know the person. But obviously it does depend. We all need, you know, a sort of, we do need our physical space. But then I guess it can depend on the relationship we've got with the person or the circumstance. So obviously if you're really, you know, close with somebody, if it's your husband and he's coming close to you in an affectionate way, you're not going to feel uncomfortable and be like, oh, back off. Do you know what I mean? But then if somebody's trying to talk to you and explain something to you and then they're too close, it can come across as aggressive, like they're trying to dominate or be aggressive. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that where you have kind of been in a situation where you felt that, okay, the tone that you're using with me, the way that your body language is and your closeness is just, you know, is overshadowing me. This is just making me feel uncomfortable.
I'm going to sound like a bad girl. I've been on the opposite side of the scenario where I've actually like done that to people, but it was a defense mechanism because I can't fight to save my life. I can't fight to save my life. So every time, and I used to face a lot of bullying. So the only thing that I had going for me was my size, was how tall I was and how intimidating I was. Right. So that's the way that I would use to intimidate people to get them to back off. So I would really get close in their space and like really wave my hands and hope that they run away at that point. Actually, they would. So yeah, I know it can be intimidating. It can be, it can strike fear in people.
Yes, I suppose parents, we do it sometimes when we're disciplining our children.
Right.
When you really want to get a point to them, you get right up to them and right in their face.
Show them you're serious.
I said don't do that. With small children, of course, not older ones. But you do that. You get right up into their face and you say, I said don't do it. And they're like,
because it's kind of a way of showing that you're serious. I mean what I'm saying.
I mean what I'm saying.
And you're getting me upset now.
Yes.
Been there. Been on the receiving end. Well, another method of non-verbal communication is the handshake. A positive handshake can break the ice and create a positive first impression. So, ladies, we're going to do a little bit of a demonstration here. I'm really sorry, Di, because I do have a cold. I have been sniffling, but you're going to have to shake my hand and share the bacteria. I'm really sorry.
I'm so glad it's so close to me, you know.
I'm so glad I didn't ask to swap seats with you.
Okay, so let's divide into pairs. Okay, so we'll just do this sitting down, but approach your partner smiling. Be sure to show some teeth, which Di's already doing. Wonderful. Meet head on, facing them directly. This promotes openness, confidence, and trustworthiness. Extend your right hand. Continue to smile. Connect with the part of the hand between your thumb and your forefinger. This part should interlock with the same part of your partner's hand. The grip should be just right, natural and friendly. Crushing grips can be seen as overpowering or obnoxious. A limp grip can give an impression of disinterest. The grip should be comfortable pressure, communicating confidence and ability. So should we give that a try now then? Can we remember all that?
Yeah,
So
can
we're
we not
facing
make
each
a
other.
mistake so we don't have to do it twice?
Only one lot of shared bacteria is enough for you. Right, okay. So we're smiling, facing head on, which promotes confidence and trustworthiness. Keep smiling. So remember, you need to interlock that part that I told you about. And also a nice firm grip, but not too firm, not too shaky. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Did we do that
I think we did quite well there. So it's good to remember that in future because I have had a few limp
It's funny, I had that yesterday.
handshakes.
I had a woman who literally did this to me. Not even that, she did that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like she
Because I
doesn't
was
want
doing
to.
the shows, they was like,
I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
The people that grab your fingers.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, when they grab. So it kind of, for me, sometimes it gives an impression of I don't really want to shake your hand.
That's what I got.
I'm just doing it to be polite, but I actually don't want to shake your hand. But obviously, once you've got a good grip, it kind of you're interested. Yeah. So, you're gonna have to use some antibacterial hand gel afterwards, what have you. But yeah, so it really does make a difference on the. It's amazing how small things like that can make such a difference on the first impression, the first time you meet a person.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's discuss some handshake misdemeanors, okay? Which we've brought some of these up already. Shaking the tips of the finger can be perceived as a lack of self-confidence even. I can understand how that could be. For me, it kind of, if somebody shakes the tip of my fingers, it's kind of like a lack of interest, but also, I guess it can show that I'm a bit shy. I don't really want to shake
I think
your
it's
hand.
quite scornful, actually.
That's what
If somebody shakes my hands and they grab my fingers, that's it. They turn me off right away.
Yeah, it's like
No,
they're
I can
looking
relate
down
to that.
on you, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's kind of like, okay, you
You can't
little
probably shake
commoner.
my hand.
I almost would say, well, why bother?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, energetic arm pumping can come across as insincere, so maybe like trying too hard. Hi. Do you know what I mean? It's like just a bit too much effort there. Extending your arm with your palm facing down can be seen as disrespectful. So like, oh hi,
Yeah, like you
I
want me to
completely
kiss
get
you or
that.
something,
Yeah,
you
like,
know, like,
hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the person wants you to kiss their hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick short break now. But before we do, our colleague and fellow DKW, Lisa, went to see a record-breaking attempt of hundreds of people who knew how to swing their bodies, and then she took a swing class for herself with Dragon's Den winning class Swing Patrol. Check out this video.
Hi guys, and today there's a lot of adrenaline around, there's a lot of people around as they try to attempt to break the world record for the number of people dancing the Charleston at the same time. So this is taking place at Spitalfields Market today, and it is being led by Scott Cupid, who is one of Strictly Come Dancing's choreographers. So let's see how they get on.
Well, I've taken a few lessons actually with the same company, so yeah, it's really good fun, and I just really wanted to get involved in this because it's just great to be part of a world record. So,
yeah, me too. I've done a few classes. I've been learning to Lindy Hop, and then through that learned a bit of Charleston too.
I've done a little bit in class and sometimes when I'm out social dancing, but not that much.
Yeah, I've been in class as well, so I've done it for about a year.
Been doing it for just over a year and a bit, so learning in classes with Swing Patrol. It's brilliant.
Not very long, only a few times really, so hopefully we'll give it a go today and hopefully we don't make any mistakes.
very little. Also very little, maybe once before. I've done the Charleston probably for about a year. It was the first thing I learned when I started swing.
I wanted it to be part of this big world record attempt. I thought it would be really, really good fun, hang out with some friends. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, exactly the same. It's just a great event. It's not something you get to be part of very often. No, not many people can turn around and say they've been part of a world record event, so take the opportunity whilst it's here.
Yeah, definitely raising some money. It's always good to do, do something for a good cause, something that you enjoy.
And it will be exciting if we break the record.
Yeah, my friends from my dance class, they suggested we come here to help with the world record breaking attempt at the Charleston. So I said, I'm up for that too. So we came down today from Leicester.
We teach in Berlin, so we are from Swing Patrol Berlin, and we came for this event. So we teach in Berlin.
It was really fun, and thought, yeah, let's go for it. Be part of a world attempt, world record attempt.
Yeah, we're making history here in Spitalfields.
The sun is one thing, but just like the swing community, they're like a little family to me now, so it's like really good fun.
There's so much preparation required because it's a world record and the Guinness Book of Records are quite fussy, and so they should be, but the stipulations are quite clear. You need official time recorders, you need independent witnesses, it needs to be recorded from high so they can do an official number count. We need to record everybody coming into a barriered section. So all that requires so much attention and focus. And then of course there's a recording of the people and teaching the choreography, and so yeah, it's required a lot of work.
I'm a member of the London Football Association and a football referee. So normally I referee football games, and I've been doing this since I was 16, from 1996.
I think to be a good dance teacher, you have to love what you do. You have to be so passionate. And so if you love what you do, I think, and you know how to share the dance and you believe in your students, well, you're halfway there. So I think just having a real love for the dance and the music and everything you do. Yeah, and we always teach our team that to teach the joy of the dance. It's such a joyful dance, so make sure the joy is part of the good teaching.
The difference between a football match and a world record like this is that it's much more relaxed as experience, and there is a lot of energy, a lot of happiness, and it's for a good cause as well.
So I'm launching a book called Swing Dance, and part of that has some key moves in it for beginners, and there's a little section, so hopefully people like it. There's key moves to different dances, so today's been all about Charleston, so the key moves today are just you tap and you step and you tap and you step and you put some swivels in. So there's some basic steps that form every dance, and on that all the fun colour and enthusiasm is layered on top. We're really proud that we've raised money for the Guy's Cancer Centre today. Even though we're a big joyful community, we've also been touched by cancer and had some sad occasions, and I think everybody in the community has been touched by cancer. So yeah, it was a good one to support. It's a local one to us, and yeah, we're really proud of the support they were given today.
So after that exciting world record attempt and watching all those people dance, obviously I now want to get in on the action. So I'm now going to be taking part in a swing class, and now you guys can see how I get on. So before I get to do my swing class, I'm here with Peter and Gemma, who are going to be hopefully teaching me how to swing. So guys, how long have you been doing swing dancing?
So I've been dancing for 4 years, teaching for 2.
I've been dancing for about 8 years and teaching for 6 or 7.
So why swing? I mean, my kind of background, I've done like salsa, but I've like seen it but never done it. So why swing?
For me, what about swing is the happiness that it has, the joy. People are laughing. I mean, when I saw it for the first time, people were laughing and smiling through dancing, whereas other dances look amazing, but there's not so much joy, at least. So that's, for me, what made me want to join.
I think the swing music has a bit more freedom, a bit more range of tempos, different kind of energy, and you can see that coming through in the dance. There's a lot of experimental stuff, you could say, going on, so it's not so regimented as maybe other dances are, and it just feels a bit more fun because of that.
Okay, and is it something that's for any age, any skill level, is it all-encompassing?
Yeah, absolutely, I would say.
Yeah, for sure, it's the more the merrier, really, so looking in that room tonight you'll see, well, maybe not school kids, but yeah, teenagers right through to older people.
Careful.
Because I know one of the shows that we're going to be talking about is, for example, about body language. But do you think that dance is a great way for people to like kind of come together and even help people get more confidence in how they can present themselves? Do you think that can help?
Yeah, definitely. I think related to what Pete was saying about the music and the freedom. So there's a certain steps to swing, but we're dancing to the music. So everyone can express themselves differently, and it's nice to see how when you're learning how you let go and you express yourself with your body language. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Well, hopefully I'll be able to express myself on the dance floor a bit later, so see how I get on.
This program is brought to you by UCKG. This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome back everyone, and on today's show, The Body Talks, we've been discussing non-verbal communication and what it can say. And joining us today we have Emma Zangs, choreographer and body language practitioner. Welcome, Emma. So you originally worked as a choreographer and now you're a body language practitioner. So how did you, I guess, move from one field to another?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, my business partner, Mariana, had a friend in technology. And he came to us saying, I have a photo shoot, I can't look at the camera, can you help me? And he knew we were doing this work with singers, with dancers on stage or in front of the camera, and he really needed help. So we did an hour of movement, of exercises with him to relax him and be like, yeah, you can do this. Mm-hmm. And then we got the shot done, he was really happy and said, there is so many geeks like me that could benefit from this. Wow. And then we looked at the technology industry and what people were doing, and people pitch a lot to investors. Mm-hmm. And that's where they have to speak about themselves, and investors invest in people. Mm. And that's where we realized that it's a bit like a performance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have to be yourself, but you have to be clear. You have to really be okay with where you're at. And that's where we found that our skills could really help.
That's excellent. Emma, you've developed your own techniques of body language. Mm-hmm. It's different from the NLP and any other body language. Mm-hmm. How is that?
Yes, we didn't study NLP, so it's difficult to say how different it is from NLP. But what we really focus on is flow and presence. Mm-hmm. So how to be at ease with whatever is in the room and whoever you're speaking to, and really truly being there with the person and communicating what you want, being clear and being with the people. Mm-hmm. So it's all about really have a mindset that you're there and you don't allow yourself to speak to your mind, and you have a clear body language that really fits you. So it's not about you should look like this or you should be doing this. It's whatever you feel like doing within boundaries that allow you to do it. And it's quite similar to choreography, actually.
It's actually quite interesting because we were talking about our body language, and comparing it to what's standard out there. And we were just discovering on the show that, you know, sometimes it can be very relative. It can be very unique to you. So I like the fact that you guys take people's uniqueness into consideration.
Yes, I think it's all about being at ease in any situation and knowing what you do and having an understanding on how people perceive you. So we film people and then they watch themselves. They're like, oh, I didn't know I was doing this, or I didn't know I was good at this. And then I think I should be better at with my hand gesture or with my voice. So then they realize for themselves what they need to work on. But sometimes they think they have to learn how to speak, but actually no, they do things that they do very well already. And then they see that it's not rocket science, it's practice. It's being there with the people, communicating, making sure your message is clear and the person understands. So right now you're all nodding and you're all looking at me and I'm like, yeah, they get it.
They get it.
So then I don't need to explain too much. I don't need to think, oh, I'm not saying the right thing.
I just want to ask a quick question. You said, when you were just explaining just now, you said not allowing yourself to speak to your mind. What do you mean by that? Is it kind of like not allowing yourself to be telling yourself, oh, I need to act like this, I need to act like that?
So it's a bit like in mindfulness. When you still the body, you still the mind. And when you still the mind, you have so much more room for calmness, for clarity. So it's a bit the same, I mean, it is the same technique, but we need to move when we speak. So it's how you move that you're occupied, you're doing something. Because when you do your mind can't be telling you other things. So right now what I'm focusing on is making sure my message is clear. And now you understand me. So I'm active. When we're active, it's like when we're running. When we're running, we're running. And then you allow your mind to have more space and to allow yourself to speak, to think. So you think much more clearly. Because if you have to think and then there is all this voice that is on top, it's too many things happening at once.
Okay. I noticed that when you were talking, you were doing a lot of this, you were doing the sincerity.
Yes, correct.
But
did I do that?
Yeah, you were doing that. Yeah.
Well,
because we learned it today, so I noticed as you're talking, you're doing it. So I could see that you are speaking from a sincere place. But my question to you is, how can you tell when someone's body language is insecure, and is confidence important in winning someone's trust?
Yes. So that's a very good question, because it's what I say. If the body is not clear, if the body is not grounded, we can't trust. If there is no awareness or control over the body and it's all over the place, it's overwhelming, it's fuzzy. For example, if I do too many hand gestures, if my eyes don't look at the people I'm talking to, then we have to deal with that first. It's from a part of our brain that is called the reptilian brain, which is the brain we had pre-language. So if I would have come to you really excited with my hands on my back, and I would have spoken to you since the beginning like this, you would have it alerts in your mind, in the reptilian brain, what is she hiding? Or what's going on here?
So true.
Because we always have to be safe and we're always in a survival mode. So communicating is seeing if you can trust the person. And you can't trust someone that you can't rely on. And you can't trust someone that is not grounded. And the other part of the question, what was it?
Is how is confidence important in winning someone's trust?
Yes, so this is very important because in business, and that's who the people I'm working with, you really need to trust the people, because you're going to be working with them for 5 years and they're going to be your investors and you're going to be dealing with them. So not trusting someone can really be difficult when you have to work for long periods of time.
Yeah, it was interesting what you said there about body language being tribal. You know, we're always looking, we're always seeing, can I trust that person? So what they're doing with their hands and their eyes, probably not consciously, we're always looking and thinking, what is that person really saying? Especially when you probably don't know somebody. You're trying to work out, you know what I say about first impressions count. So I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, can I trust this person? Let me see what their hands are saying. Are they looking at me? Are they looking to the left? Are they thinking too much? Are they not? You know, all that time, it is quite tribal.
It's fascinating.
Can I trust this person? It's true, yeah.
It's fascinating because we make up our mind of a tenth of a second. So I arrive in the room and you made up your mind. And then we discuss and then you change your mind and you're like, okay, you have a bigger understanding of who I am when I speak. But we get so many information by just seeing someone. And the first impression is a lot of our work, like handshakes are very important.
Yes.
Listening to whoever is in the room, to whatever is happening. So these are the very minute things. It's very gentle, but they can make so much difference.
It's funny, but you can fake certain things, because Emma said we're all here, we're nodding our head, so she gets the impression that we all understand what she's saying, but sometimes you can actually be nodding your head and in your mind you're like I'm just not really getting this. Do you get So you can actually fake things sometimes, and that the person actually thinks you're getting it.
So yeah, this is true, and this is why a training can be useful, because sometimes you get betrayed by what you do with your body. So it's having an understanding that when you get anxious or when you disagree with someone, is what is this body language, what is this posture or whatever you do with your body that can't betray yourself. So then it can help you. It's a tool. It's a tool, and knowing what works for you, so then it expands your comfort zone, and you know, oh, I can go there, or I can go to the very loose person. So you have more understanding of yourself, and you can play with that.
You work in business, and one thing that I find in common that we all have with people in business is we want to have presence, because we get people watching us, and we get people. We are trying to get a message across to people who listen to us. So, what advice can you give us in order to portray presence?
I think there is few things. First is the energy. So we all have a different energy. But what is your energy that makes you special? What do you want to give to people? Because that's what people will remember. They won't necessarily remember what you're saying. They will remember how you enter the room, what kind of energy do you give? And that's what people keep remembering. And then with presence per se, is always keeping your mind occupied and not preoccupied. You don't let yourself doubting about yourself. I'm good wherever I am. Nothing is going to happen. It's all good. I'm in front of 4 lovely ladies, and it's great. We're having a great time. And you just focus on that. And this makes you much more present. There is a lot of different techniques that are a bit more specific that we do during our workshops, but mainly that's the mindset. And when you start with the mindset, then you can enter flow, you can be
Can
fine.
I say something interesting? And I know I'm taking over for Melissa's
That's okay.
question. Something interesting that happened in the morning when I walked in. You were in our makeup room, and I actually came in, and you're like, oh, by the way, I'm Emma, and you suddenly portrayed presence for me, because you were so confident. You didn't feel. I mean, you were in our makeup room, and if I were in your position, I'd be like, awkward, out of place, but you just immediately made yourself part of the group, and I actually said, I like her.
It's so funny, because I actually noticed that when she said that to you. Yeah, and I thought, she's
I think
confident.
We made you feel comfortable, didn't we, when you came in before? So I think that
played a part in it. Yeah.
But it's very important for women especially, and this is all about women, to feel at ease in any situation they are in, and to ask, to ask what they need, but don't ask permission. So to enter and be, okay, I'm Emma, you just arrived, we didn't meet because you arrived later, and I'm in the room already. So I have to introduce myself. I'm not going to wait for someone to introduce me. I'm just going to go there. And I think it has nothing to do with being more masculine or more aggressive in business. No, it's just like politeness, really.
And it opens the door as well. It makes people feel immediately comfortable around you. It just breaks the ice, isn't it?
Emma, what about when you're with your friends? Are they comfortable around you, or are they thinking, oh, is Emma reading my body language here? Do I need to be careful? Is she going to see something?
It's interesting, because when I'm with my friend, I totally relax. My work is very much in a business context. Very much in a business context. It's a bit like a suit you put on, and you have your business manners. When I'm at the pub or with my friends, no, I completely relax, but my brain unconsciously picks things up. And I always trust my gut. That's very important, to trust your gut.
I just want to ask you quickly, what is the difference in the way that you teach choreography and movement from the way that you teach people how to control body language in a day-to-day situation?
Yeah, so there are differences, obviously, but it's not that different. As choreographer, we're very interested in presence and flow. And when you present to someone or when you have an audience, it's a bit the same. It's, you have an audience, you have to communicate a message, and they are the same principles. Then we don't choreograph, per se, hand gesture, movements, and what people do, or pacing on stage. So it's not super detailed in the movement they do. Sometimes people really need that to feel really safe. But we really allow for people to improvise and then have points of anchor. So we find the right posture for the hand that feel comfortable. Then we find the right way of walking on stage. We find the right way for them to look at people. And these are techniques that really refocus your mind. If you refocus your body, you refocus your mind, and then you're back on track.
Fantastic. Okay, well, Emma, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I think our viewers have definitely learned a lot, but as presenters, I think I've also picked up a lot from what you said that would be handy in even the way that we present. I'm sure that my colleagues would agree.
Yes, we're nodding here.
If I may add one thing, if we could all do it.
Okay.
It's with the handshake, it's the first thing we teach our clients. And instead of putting a lot or not thinking about handshaking, like it's something that I do and then we start talking, it's really listen to whatever you put in. So if I do a handshake with you, I really match your energy here. And that's the first point, that's the first impression. And I'm like, yeah, we can start talking, we can start business.
Fantastic.
And it's not about crushing someone's hand, it's really listening to whatever is there. And then, okay, we're going to understand each other.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Emma. That's been great.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to a short break now, but do stick with us as we'll be discussing more on the topic of the body talks.
This programme is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome to your health centre, conveniently located right here in the heart of Finsbury Park. Open 7 days a week with 4 services daily, there's surely something for everyone. No matter what time of day, there will always be a spiritual advisor on hand, ready to speak to you. Call our 24-hour helpline, your place to open up any time of the day. No problem is too complex, so don't be dismayed. In fact, we have daily sessions that can tackle issues related to every area of your life, from the inside out. If you're looking for uplifting advice, a listening ear, or maybe just a prayer to put your mind at ease, then feel free to come in. We also offer free childcare facilities during all of our meetings. We'll take care of them as if they were our very own. Or, for teens and youths, express your talents right here in our youth group, proudly one of the biggest youth groups in the UK. If you need our support, you will find it. From the training centre to support groups for single parents and the abused, free, confidential help is at hand. There's no appointment necessary, so you're welcome. And what's more, all the services we offer are all completely free. The advisors will give you practical, non-judgmental advice that will take the weight off your shoulders. Also, if you're looking for special gifts or an inspirational read, then why not visit our bookshops? We have a comprehensive range of thought-provoking literature at great prices. We work hard to provide for all of your needs from the inside out. Helping people is what drives us, so you're welcome.
This programme is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's show, and we are discussing body language and its importance. Now, ladies, I have a question for you. Do you think that becoming conscious of your body language the subtext that it speaks and controlling it makes you a fake person? It's quite an interesting question, I think.
Yeah, that is a good question. But well, I mean, sometimes you need to fake
it till you make it.
like we learned, because you want to represent yourself in the best light. So if you're aware that something that you're doing naturally is not reflecting well, so you have to kind of like adapt, isn't it? For example, we spoke about your frown. I have that too when I'm concentrating, so I could really be paying attention to what you're saying, and my face could be saying, I'm angry at you, but I'm not. So obviously I'm going to have to fake the way that I concentrate in order to represent myself in the best way.
Yeah. I know, particularly with me, I wasn't not particularly good at smiling, but I know when I don't smile, it makes people feel uncomfortable. So I consciously think about, I need to smile. Because sometimes I'll be looking at someone and I'll notice that their face changes. I thought, oh God, I think they think that I'm upset. So let me kind of lighten their... But only those people who really know me know that, okay, she's smiling inside. But particularly when you first meet people, and if you're not a person who's very smiley, like you said, you've got your frowns, you have to be conscious of that, because when you look at the person, you can tell by they're almost interpreting what you're doing. So if you're frowning, they start to frown back at you. You think, well, that's not the message I want to give. So you have to kind of turn it around.
Go on, Di.
I think that's... We're on a show here and we're all very relaxed and we are all very ourselves. But, you know, just before the show, we had this outburst of laughter. You know, I did something to Motti and, you know, but the audience doesn't see that. So it's not that we're fake, but we have to, like she was saying, we have to pull back to a certain, so we're not being 100% ourselves.
I think it really does depend. I think there's no blanket sort of rule for everything, because I remember when I was younger and I used to get on the bus to school and people would get on the bus, my friends would get on the bus and be like, they'd see me and be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I'm actually, you know, quite excited about today. But my face, my normal face when I'm not smiling, can be quite serious. And that's something that I've had to be aware of over the years as well. And sometimes just because I know inside that I don't feel that way, I've realised that I've had to make more of an effort to portray how I truly feel on the inside, which is I am friendly. I do like to meet new people, because I am actually a person that likes to meet new people and I like to try and make people feel comfortable. But obviously if their first impression of me is, oh, she looks a bit serious, like, oh no, then I'm kind of I guess my body language is lying about me. So I have to make it tell the truth. But then you do kind of get situations that are the other way around where you meet people that are just overly smiley and you know that it just doesn't look genuine, and it does look fake. And you do think, oh, you know, you're not real. You're not
really keeping it real.
So it's kind of a bit of a...
But some people are naturally like that. Some people are naturally like that. They're like over smiley. They can't stop smiling. And it does come off as fake. And so obviously they have to learn to pull it back so that they can represent themselves. But I think you make a good point.
That could come across as nervousness as well, actually, that overly smiley, you know?
Or that over giggly. But being over giggly as well is one thing that I do when I'm nervous. But what you make a good point in that we have to think of what represents who we are inside, right? If what I'm doing is lying about who I am inside, then it's not really considered fake if I fix the lie.
Fix the lie,
But if I'm portraying what I'm not on the inside, then it kind of, for example, you know, I'm not really interested in you, but I want to fake to be interested in you just so I can gain some advantage over you. So then that's a problem. So I wouldn't encourage people to learn skills to deceive people, only to portray themselves in the best way possible.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, ladies, well, we're coming to the end of our show, unfortunately. So I'd like to ask, do you have any final thoughts for our viewers?
I think that you shouldn't take people on face value. I've learned that over the years, that, you know, someone could walk into a room and, you know, you look at their persona and you just judge it straight away, like how it happens to all of us all the time. And I've learned that because of me, you know, that someone will say, oh, you look like this, or you know, oh, what's happening with you today? And I'd be like, it's the total opposite, like you've just said. So I try and not look at that person and think, oh, she doesn't look happy, or oh, she's she's excited about something, I try and get to see what's actually happening with that person. So no first judgments.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, I do have a conclusion. People need to bear in mind that we're brands. Like we're all brands. You're always selling yourself in some way, right? Either to your friend, selling yourself as a sincere friend. I mean, I use that term lightly. But you're always selling yourself. You want people to accept you. You want people to buy into your message. You want people to... So if we look at how people brand things, they do that consciously. They don't just, throw a brand out there without being meticulous about that brand and making sure that the message comes across. So what I'm trying to say is you need to learn your body language so you can represent yourself in the best way. You may do certain things that can put people off, like Emma was saying. You may do certain things that can even take away career opportunities from you. So this is not something that's going to come to you automatically. It's something that it's a skill that you have to acquire, and people need to make an effort in acquiring that skill. And I think it's something that people never really truly learn. And so do something about your body language, learn what it says, and learn how you can best represent yourself, sell yourself as a brand.
Definitely, I agree. Kim?
I think it's important for people to realise that body language is a form of non-verbal communication. And in every situation, we have to realise what we are trying to communicate to people. Are we trying to come across confident? Are we trying to come across friendly? Are we trying to come across in a way that we're trying to discipline, for example, our children? So we can't get away from it. And I think we need to always think about what are we saying with our language, because we can either endear people to us or we can push them away. And even though we're not conscious of it, I think if there's things about your body language which is working against you, you need to correct it. For example, we talked about smiling and frowning. If we know that we do these things, we need to make a conscious effort to stop it. And also, as Emma was saying, is what energy is our body language giving off? We've all got our own energy. And I think the important thing is to be sincere to your energy. If you know you are a calm person, I don't think it's going to work to your benefit if you all of a sudden go, oh, you become fake. So be sincere to who you are, but also realise that what your body language is saying to other people.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to say.
I definitely, and I'd like to kind of speak coming off from that, because I genuinely think it's easier to portray what you truly feel inside. So, for example, if you're a confident person, or if you're a shy person, let's say, you're a person that it's hard kind of for you to meet people or be around new people, it's very difficult to portray confidence in your body language without coming across as insincere, without coming across as somebody that you're maybe not, because even you feel uncomfortable because you're trying to push out something that's not really inside. And I would say that that's one of the main things to work on. If you're not, if you feel that you're not a confident person, you're not a person that can easily meet people, maybe work on the root of that. Where does that come from? What makes you not feel comfortable in your own skin? What makes you not feel comfortable with yourself and with the person that you are? Because when somebody's very confident with the way that they are, it's really easy for you to see. So I would say that that's a key thing, but also effort and self-evaluation is key, because sometimes, as we've spoken, your body can show the opposite of what you are. Like, you might be a very happy person, but you're not portraying that. So it is very important to do things like watch yourself back if you can, to really evaluate your body language so that you can indeed bring out the best of yourself. So that's what my advice to you guys would be today, is to be brave, to be confident. Don't be afraid to evaluate yourself. Don't be afraid to be sometimes a bit self-critical and to see where you can improve. And most of all, be different. It's been a great show. I've learned loads.
Definitely.
If you do have any comments, then you can email us at comments@dkw.me or at help@dkw.me. We'd also appreciate your feedback on the show as well, because that will help us. And what do you think of our body language? It's been a great show, and we'll see you next time.
This programme is brought to you by UCKG.